Blessings to you, precious soul. The angels are surrounding you with golden light right now, and they want you to know you were not brought here by accident. Something greater guided you to this moment. Welcome to the Angel's Message for You original channel. This is our only official channel. Please beware of copycat and pirated channels, and stay connected to the original source for authentic angel messages and true blessings. Before today's angel message, let's take a moment to thank David and Vicky for their kind Ko-Fi contributions. Your support helps keep this divine mission alive and allows us to continue sharing these messages with souls around the world. Before you move on, the angels are asking you to stay right here, right now, because what you are about to hear has been held in the heavens specifically for you. Something is already in motion in your life. You may not be able to see it yet, but deep down you have been feeling it. That quiet pull in your chest. That hope you keep talking yourself out of. That sense that something is shifting, something is coming, something is about to change. You were led here because you are ready to receive this message. And by the time these words reach the deepest part of you, everything will begin to make sense. Take a slow, easy breath. Open your heart. This is your moment. Dear beloved and protected soul, something is about to happen in your life that will change everything. The love connected to you, the soul that still reaches out to yours in the quiet and unseen spaces of life, is filled with happiness right now. And not just any kind of happiness. This is the kind of deep, glowing joy that rises from the inside when the heart finally finds a real reason to feel alive again. When life suddenly makes sense because of one single soul. The happiness growing inside this person right now has a direction, an energy, and a very clear destination. And that destination is you. But the most powerful part of all of this is not just what is being felt. It is what is being planned. This soul is about to take an action that may even surprise you. An action driven by a genuine and sincere desire to be near you. To finally live what has been dreamed about for so long. To take all of this waiting and turn it into something real, something present, something beautiful. There is a force right now pushing this person toward you. It is not desperation. It is not neediness or impulse. It is the honest, deep reflection of everything that has been quietly building inside their heart. This person has begun to see clearly that staying away is no longer possible. That keeping everything locked inside is no longer something the heart will allow. And that is exactly why you have been feeling this subtle inner movement lately. Those sudden thoughts that seem to come from nowhere, those emotions that feel like they are gently preparing you for something that is on its way. None of this is imagination. What is approaching is real. This soul is filled with joy because they finally understand it is time to act. And the happiness they feel is not about some small thing. It is the joy of someone who has decided to go all the way for what truly and deeply matters. It is the kind of brave and wholehearted joy that belongs to someone who never stopped loving, even through time, even through every pause and silence that life placed between the two of you. Something became undeniably clear to this person in recent days. What they have been carrying in their heart for so long can no longer be delayed. And from that deep knowing, a plan was born. Something intense. Something perhaps unexpected. But something completely and utterly true. This is not about being reckless. This is about doing what is necessary, because what exists between you cannot stay inside imagination any longer. It wants to be lived. It wants presence. It wants to step out of the quiet and into the real world. The angels are here because this movement is not small. It is guided and blessed. And above all, it has been authorized by something far greater than either of you. This person asked heaven for help. They asked for clarity, for guidance, for the kind of peace that only comes when the heart is truly aligned with the right path. And heaven answered. That is why this message was sent to you today, to prepare you, to help you feel what has already begun to move and shift in your world. The moment approaching is life-changing. It opens doors. It restores what is true. It brings back to life what only seemed to be sleeping. You may have tried to move on before. You may have tried to silence the feeling, to convince yourself to let it go. But there are days when this person's presence fills your thoughts so completely that ignoring it becomes impossible. And now you are beginning to understand why. This soul is vibrating for you. They are ready to move through any distance, face any obstacle, just to be near you. This is not a romantic fantasy. This is a real and living desire that has been quietly maturing and now simply cannot wait any longer. The happiness this soul feels comes from one unshakable certainty, that you are still the right person, that you are the name that never left their thoughts no matter how much time passed. That certainty is so strong and so grounded that it has helped them move through every fear, every doubt, every hesitation that might have held them back before. It is no longer about what could go wrong. It is about living what can no longer be avoided, because holding this love inside has become heavy, and moving toward you has become the only true path to peace. Today you are being invited to prepare yourself. What is coming is going to move you in ways you did not expect. It will not arrive wrapped in pretty or rehearsed words. It will come with truth, with presence, with an intensity that is quiet yet unmistakable. And you will feel it in that deep, knowing place inside yourself, that everything between you has been real from the very beginning. Every thought, every sign, every memory that arrived out of nowhere, those were not random. They were gentle preparations for what is now on its way. This love is coming, and this time it is not coming with doubt. It is coming with a decision. If your heart has been beating a little differently lately, if the days have felt heavier with an expectation you cannot quite name, it is because the waiting is ending. The time for what is truly and beautifully yours is about to begin. The way this person has been moving through life in recent days is completely different from before. It is as if something was lit inside of them, like a long-awaited answer finally arrived, and with it came an energy that simply cannot be stopped. This change did not begin on the outside. It was born deep in the heart. It grew from the certainty that continuing without being near you is not something they can choose anymore. For a long time, this soul tried to tell themselves that perhaps fate would naturally find its way to bring your paths back together. But time moved forward and the heart did not forget. Every memory grew more vivid rather than softer. Every thought of you gathered more strength rather than fading. Your name began to fill a space that nothing else could touch. And that is when the shift truly began. The moment this person accepted that some things simply cannot be ignored, when the heart is speaking that loudly with that much truth, everything changed. The days started feeling too short for all the longing they were carrying. The nights felt too quiet for all the thoughts that kept returning. Until finally, waiting became something they were no longer able to do. Something inside began gently but firmly moving them in one direction. And that direction is you. Not as a question, as a certainty. What changed is not only the feeling itself. What changed is how it is being honored and treated. What was once a quiet and private wish has become a decision. This soul no longer wants to imagine what things could feel like. They want to live it. And this desire was built slowly, tenderly, through memories that kept returning on their own, through the quiet moments when your name rose to the surface without invitation, through the deep understanding that what they felt was never replaced by anything or anyone else. It was simply waiting for courage to show up. And courage has shown up. This person's heart feels different now because it found a clarity and urgency that is not scattered or confused. It is focused. It is steady. It is as if every single piece of the puzzle has finally settled into place. This transformation brought a courage that had been waiting quietly inside. It also brought a joy that has been hard to contain. And this joy has a name. It is you. It is the hope of being near you, of being able to say with their eyes everything that has been kept carefully inside for so long. In recent days, this person has started seeing their own sense of happiness in an entirely new way. Nothing feels complete anymore without you in the picture. Everything that once brought contentment eventually ran into the absence left by you. That is when full clarity came. You are an essential and irreplaceable part of the joy this heart wants to live. Not out of need or longing alone, but out of truth. Because some feelings do not weaken with time. They only deepen and mature. And when they mature enough, they call for action. The drive inside this soul right now is enormous. The drive to move from thought into presence. It feels impossible to continue going forward without showing you everything that still lives inside their chest. There is simply no room for doubt anymore. What they feel is strong enough to meet any obstacle. And this love, which has existed in silence for too long, now wants to be lived with urgency and with truth. The soul is smiling in. Different way lately because they found a greater purpose for everything they have been carrying. They understand now that you are not simply a memory. You are a present and living reality. And that reality deserves space. It deserves action. It deserves a real and honest meeting. It was this awareness that changed everything inside of them. A light turned on in their heart. A light that now guides every single step forward. Every step in your direction. The shift also happened in how this person looks back at what you have shared together. Not with sadness, but with gratitude. As if everything that happened served only to reveal how truly valuable this love is. As if every moment, every detail, had been a quiet and faithful sign pointing toward the truth that what you feel still has strength. Still has life, still has a destiny worth walking toward. And it was this gratitude that gave the courage to form a plan, to prepare both emotionally and spiritually to stand in front of you with complete and honest truth. This person looked inward and recognized that something needed to happen. Not from pride, not from ego, but from love, from connection. From the deep and sincere sense that you are still the reason for so many good and real things in their heart. It was not easy to admit, but it was freeing because when we understand that love is still alive, the only honest path forward is to live it with maturity. And that is exactly what is about to happen. You have been feeling this energy because it is genuinely and truly coming your way. The name this person repeats most in their quiet moments is yours. The desire that pulses the strongest is to look into your eyes. And the growing urgency inside them is to take everything that has been felt for so long and turn it into something real that both of you can actually live together, at the right time, with everything this feeling truly deserves. None of this would be moving forward if something deep inside this soul had not changed in a profound way. But now that this change has taken place, there is no turning back. The happiness this person feels is real. It is deep. It is the happiness of someone who has made a courageous and conscious decision. Someone who will move through any distance to live this love. And the step being carefully prepared carries every possibility of marking a completely new beginning between you. Because when the heart transforms, destiny transforms too. You are the reason for this transformation. You are the center of this feeling. And that is why this person is preparing to take an action that will reach your heart in a way you never quite imagined. Not because it will be loud or grand, but because it will be absolutely true. And what is true has the power to heal what was hurt, restart what seems stopped, and completely transform what it touches. What this person has been experiencing lately is too powerful to go unnoticed by the soul. The joy that has filled their heart has not stayed contained or hidden. It has spilled into the way they think, into the brightness in their eyes, into the new and different rhythm of their days. And even if you have not witnessed this directly, something inside of you has already started to sense it. Because when two hearts share a genuine and deep connection, any significant shift in one is felt by the other. It moves through the invisible thread that still runs between you. It is as if life whispered a new certainty into the heart of the one who loves you. A certainty that arrived like a breath of fresh air, like a release, like a long-awaited answer. This person no longer doubts what they want. And that has changed everything around them. Their focus has come back to you. Memories have started returning and claiming space. Their heart, now full of a courage it did not have before, no longer wants to hide what it feels. This joy is alive. It is vibrant. It is reaching for you in thought and calling to you with a force that you might try to brush aside, but simply cannot. You know that warmth or tightening in your chest that arrives out of nowhere and seems to have no explanation. That recurring thought that keeps bringing one specific person to mind no matter what else you are doing. Those are not random occurrences. Those are answers. Those are signs. That is the soul reaching toward you with the most genuine and pure energy a person can offer. This person does not simply want to imagine you nearby. They want to see you, to truly and fully feel your presence. And that desire is so strong and so real that it has begun showing itself in every possible way. The joy that seems to have arrived suddenly actually has a very clear origin. It is the heart of the one who loves you awakening to a new and beautiful season. It is not just any joy. It is the joy of someone who is about to experience something they have dreamed of with everything inside them. The joy of someone who now feels safe to come closer, without the old fear, because something deep within has been resolved, and that resolution has made room for this love to finally flow freely and fully. What is calling you right now is not merely the thought of someone missing you. It is the vibration of a heart that understands that to love someone truly means to act. And this vibration has crossed barriers, reached your energy field, and gently touched your sensitivity. Even without a single word being spoken, your soul already understands. That is why you have been feeling more open and tender lately. That is why certain memories have returned with an unexpected and moving intensity. This person is happy, not in a distant or abstract way, but happy thinking of you, longing for you, and ready to find their way to you. Every choice made recently has been quietly motivated by this feeling. Their days have started organizing themselves around one true desire, to come back to you in the most honest and genuine way possible. Their heart can no longer stay quiet, because when happiness is rooted in something as deep as real love, it needs to expand. It needs to reach the person who is a part of it. Perhaps you are going through days right now when everything feels a little uncertain. Perhaps you woke up recently with a strange feeling, as if something in the atmosphere had quietly shifted. It has. What is different is the feeling that is moving in your direction. A feeling that is no longer only a memory. It is a living, breathing, and real desire to be near you and to show you through honest action everything that still lives in this person's heart. This happiness did not come from the outside world. It was born from the courageous decision to listen to their own heart. It came from the deep certainty that you are still a vital and meaningful part of their story. And that certainty brought lightness, it brought a new and gentle spark, and it brought a new way of moving through each day. But above all, it brought courage, the courage to stop concealing what is real, the courage to take a step forward. This soul is at peace with this decision. And that peace has transformed into light, into trust, into a genuine and tender desire to live this love in a way it has never been lived before. That is why you feel this quiet and persistent calling. Because it is not just an emotional wish floating in the air. It is a true and deep call from one soul to another. It is a connection that has grown stronger and more certain with time and is now asking for its rightful space in the real world. And before your angels continue this sacred message for you, I want to pause here for just a moment, because so many of you, beautiful, wise, deeply spiritual women, have been writing to me, asking about love, about why the man in your life feels distant, about why, despite everything you've given, you still feel unseen, unappreciated, unchosen. Sweet soul, your angels hear that prayer too. And today they guided me to share something with you. It's called He Worships You. And it is unlike anything I have ever come across. This is not about playing games. This is not about changing who you are. This is about understanding one hidden emotional truth about men. A deep psychological trigger that, when a woman activates it, makes her man see her as absolutely irreplaceable. He becomes devoted, protective, present, like she is the only woman in the world. Women just like you are using this to experience a kind of love they thought they had lost. A love that feels safe, warm, worshipful. You deserve that kind of love. The link is waiting for you in the description below. Just click it. Take a look, and let your heart decide. You are never too old to be truly loved. This person wants you present, not as a vague idea or a beautiful thought that stays safely in imagination, but as a living, breathing, real presence. As someone who makes complete and natural sense as part of building something new and meaningful together. And the joy flooding their days is the direct reflection of a heart that has already decided. The waiting is over. The time for imagining has given way to the time for truly living. You are being invited to notice, to open yourself just a little, to allow yourself to feel what is coming toward you. Because this happiness does not want to be experienced alone. It wants to be shared with you. In a real look, in an honest conversation, in a moment of genuine and soul-deep connection. And this desire is taking on a very real shape right now. It is becoming a plan. It is turning into action. It is becoming something that is moving toward you and will show you that what once seemed far away is actually closer than it has ever been. Before this message goes deeper into your heart, pause and check the channel name carefully. Some people are stealing and reposting our content, but copied messages do not carry the same positive spiritual energy. Stay connected to the original source, Angel's Message for You channel with the black logo base. And now, let your angels speak to you. This person is not just happy. They are ready. And they are preparing to live this love with the full maturity and depth it has always deserved. Not with fear, not with hesitation, with truth and with an open and courageous heart. After so much time holding everything inside, this soul has arrived at the point where it simply cannot be contained any longer. Something awakened inside them so strongly that it became impossible to ignore. A decision was made not only in thought, but with a real and steady courage that has been fueled by genuine feeling. This person is about to do something unexpected, and they are doing it for you. This is not a passing impulse. This is not something born from a reckless moment. It has been quietly and carefully built through moments of honest reflection, through sincere conversations with God, through the long nights when longing pressed against the heart and the only certainty that remained was your name. A deep and powerful desire to be near you has been living inside this heart. And now that desire has transformed into a plan that requires real courage, real vulnerability, and above all, real love. Something has shifted in the rhythm of this person's life in recent days. It is as if every single thought is now aimed at one destination. The rest of the world has lost some of its usual brightness because what matters now, completely and truly, is the chance to look into your eyes, to approach with sincerity, to make real what has been quietly held inside for so long. The decision was made deep in the heart with firmness and maturity, and this decision comes with action behind it. This person is willing to do what it takes to reach you, not because of pride or the need to prove something, because of presence, because of the deep feeling that if not now, life could carry you both in separate directions again. And that thought is simply unbearable to a heart that already understands you are part of something far greater and more meaningful than just the past. You represent a future that can still be lived with truth and fullness and love. The decision to act came after a long and honest inner journey. This soul had to look clearly at doubts and fears and old insecurities. But they also had to honestly recognize the true value of the feeling they have been carrying all this time. And when they saw that this love had not faded, but had only grown deeper and more certain with every passing day, there was nothing left that could hold them back. Standing still would mean letting go of a chance that simply does not come around twice. The plan that is now being set in motion is not a simple thing. It involves real emotional risk. It involves giving completely of themselves. It involves the willingness to be fully and honestly seen. But this soul no longer sees any purpose in protecting what they feel behind walls of caution if those walls only mean staying away from you. That is why they are willing to move through any resistance, to face whatever discomfort is necessary, just to stand in front of you and finally say everything that has been kept inside. You may not even be aware of it yet, but something real is being prepared right now. Something that will reach you filled with love, filled with honesty, and filled with a genuine and wholehearted desire to truly make things work. This person is working toward being closer to you, not with empty or pretty words, but with their heart open and honest and ready to show you that what they feel was never interrupted. It simply needed time to grow into its full and ready strength. You have been the reason courage was born in this heart. Every step being taken right now has one true focus: to reach you with honesty and truth. Because when the heart knows where it longs to go, everything else in life begins to naturally align. And right now, everything is aligning. You may not see it unfolding directly in front of your eyes, but you can feel it. And you are. That quiet but unexplained sense of anticipation. That thought that keeps returning no matter how many times you set it aside. That feeling that something meaningful is drawing near. All of this is part of the preparation. The soul is getting closer, and your heart is recognizing it in its own quiet and faithful way, through emotions that rise without obvious cause, through signs that seem too specific to dismiss, through an energy that builds a little stronger with each passing day. In the coming days, you may begin to notice more signs around you. Small things, perhaps, but carrying a different kind of weight and meaning. A thought arriving at exactly the right moment. Something that catches your attention and feels meaningful in a way you cannot fully explain. A memory rising with a warmth attached to it that was not there before. These are answers. This soul is in motion, and everything in their world is beginning to move in response. Because when truth is genuinely strong, it does not stay hidden. It reveals itself, gently but unmistakably, and you are at the center of it all. You are the reason. You are the direction toward which everything is aimed. What is about to happen between you will not simply be a beautiful moment to remember. It will be a turning point. The action this soul is preparing to take carries genuine transformative power, not only because it represents courage, but because it was built entirely on a feeling that has never once stopped beating. And when an action comes from a place of true love, it carries with it the power to heal what was hurt, to open paths that seemed closed, and to rewrite what you thought the rest of the story was going to be. This person understands deeply that wishing alone is not enough, that love requires action, that it asks you to move past pride and past fear and past all the comfortable doubts, and to choose what your heart truly wants. That choice has been made, and now time itself has a different quality to it. Things are moving with purpose because truth is involved. Sincerity is involved. And where there is real truth between two people, the universe tends to cooperate. Everything begins to fall into the right places at the right moments. You will notice this more than you might expect. Small signs will grow more noticeable. A new feeling might arise that seems to come from somewhere deeper than your everyday emotions. Your thoughts may feel sharper, more urgent, as if they are pointing you towards something important. That urgency is real and it has a source. This soul is already in motion, and this action will not remain hidden for much longer. It will show itself. It will touch your life in a direct and unmistakable way. And it will remind you that love was never lost or forgotten. It was a feeling that was simply waiting quietly for the right and perfect moment to bloom fully into life. The impact of what is coming will not rest in carefully chosen words. It will rest in presence, in a gaze that does not look away, in a heart that is finally and completely open, in truth that arrives without any disguise at all. You will feel something inside yourself shift and unlock the moment this person is truly in front of you, as if a part of you that had been holding its breath is finally allowed to exhale and breathe freely again. Because when love is genuine, that is exactly what it does. It wakes up everything that has been too quiet for too long. There are meetings between people that do not need a single word to make sense. One honest look is enough for everything to become clear. And that is what is approaching for you. Nothing will need to be explained or justified or defended. When that gaze finds yours, everything you have been carrying in your chest will lift. You will understand, without anyone having to say it out loud, that this moment did not come too late. Came at exactly the right time. Came when both of you were truly ready. This soul carries a deep and sincere desire to look into your eyes and simply be fully present there. Not to ask for anything, not to revisit old and painful chapters, but to live the now with honesty and care. They want you to feel their presence as something real. They want you to see in their eyes everything that time was never able to erase. Because there are feelings that do not weaken with distance or with years. They simply wait, patiently and faithfully, for the right moment to surface again. And that moment has arrived. The gaze that is coming toward you will carry a truth that no rehearsed words could ever hold. It will carry the honest weight of someone who has thought of you over a long stretch of time, carrying a gentle regret for not coming sooner alongside a deep and moving gratitude for finally being there in front of you. That gaze will not turn away. It will not hesitate. It will find you with strength and tenderness and the courage of someone who has chosen to live with a wide open heart. And you will see something of yourself reflected in that look. Something inside you will shift and unlock and grow quietly, beautifully peaceful. because your heart has been asking for something it could not quite put into words. Now everything will settle into place. The questions that were left without answers. The doubts that seemed to linger forever. The nights when you felt a hollow space you could not explain. All of it will find its answer in that single and sacred moment. Everything will move at the pace of genuine feeling, and that feeling will guide you both. That gaze will feel like confirmation, like the entire universe gently saying, "It is time now." And you will know that what you felt was not an illusion or wishful thinking. The quiet voice you heard on your most uncertain days was not only longing. It was connection. It was love. It was the heart of someone who never stopped wanting you, who never stopped imagining a future that included you, who kept you close in the quietest and most faithful corners of their heart. Nothing about what is approaching between you is by chance or coincidence. This act of love that is coming your way carries a deep and real spiritual weight. Before it was planned, it was offered up in prayer. Before the decision was made, it was placed before the divine with complete sincerity and a full and open heart. And now, with everything aligned at the right moment in time, heaven has given the answer this soul was waiting and hoping for. The path is clear. Move forward. This spiritual permission did not come from desperate or repeated asking. It came as a response to a prayer that was made from a completely genuine and honest place. This person did not act on impulse or emotion alone. They spoke to God quietly and truthfully, asking that if this love was truly meant to be, it would come with peace, with real emotional readiness, with mutual understanding, with the kind of gentle clarity that only comes from above. And that answer has now arrived clearly and unmistakably. The time is here to live what both hearts have been quietly and faithfully holding. Heaven saw the intention behind this. It saw the surrender, the real and honest feeling beneath the decision. And when love is carried with that level of sincerity and reverence, it is recognized and honored from above. That is why you have been feeling so much lately. So many quiet shifts, so many signs appearing in unexpected places. It is the reflection of a spiritual blessing that has been given and is now beginning to show itself in the world around you. There are no more barriers, no more delays. Everything has already been spiritually cleared and authorized. What truly matters now is how you receive what is coming. This presence, this honest gaze, this truth that is being prepared and delivered to you. It arrives with divine protection, but it needs your heart to be open, because loving truly and fully has always required openness. It has always asked for the courage to feel again, even after everything that came before. This person knows that what they are about to share with you has the potential to change everything for both of you, forever. And that is exactly why the plan was laid before heaven before a single action was taken. Not to create something overwhelming or dramatic, but to reach you as purely and as honestly as possible. With protection, with confirmation, at exactly the right moment. And that moment is now. You have been being gently prepared for this. Perhaps for weeks, perhaps for even longer. That feeling in your chest that keeps returning. That sudden memory that arrives with unexpected warmth. That dream that stayed with you after you woke up. Heaven has been quietly arranging everything behind the scenes, tending to the details that human eyes cannot see. And now that both hearts are ready, the release has been given. Both of you are at the same place at the same time, finally. This spiritual release carries more than just symbolic meaning. It carries with it the assurance that what you are about to experience has real purpose and real meaning and real truth. This is not simply a meeting. It is an important and intentional step in the story of the two of you together. The force that is now moving everything forward comes from a higher source, from a love that was taken genuinely and seriously before God. And for that reason, it has been accepted and blessed. Now it is your turn to receive. You do not need to have every answer figured out right now. You do not need to know exactly what to say or how to respond. But you do need to allow yourself to be open, to recognize that this is not random, that the happiness being felt on the other side of this is completely real, that the action being prepared is a conscious and courageous choice to live what both of you still have left to experience together. You may have doubts rise up. That is entirely natural. But if your heart feels even slightly calmer after receiving these words, if there is a different quality inside you right now, something that feels like something good is drawing near, it is because something inside you has already begun to sense what is coming. And that feeling is the answer you have been waiting for. This person does not want to force anything or push anything. They only want to be seen honestly and truly. They want you to listen with your heart more than your head. And for at least one quiet and open moment, to allow yourself to feel what this love has been holding with such great care and such great patience. Heaven has already done its beautiful part. Now it is yours. What comes next will be built on the courage of both of you together, on the willingness to look forward rather than backward and to choose love even after everything that has passed. Between then and now, because when a story has a true and deep root, it does not need to be perfect. It only needs to be honest. And you, with everything you carry inside you, with everything you have walked through, you are a vital and irreplaceable part of this. You do not need all the answers right now. You only need to be present and open when this moment arrives. And it will arrive. Everything that needed to be cleared has been cleared. Everything that was weighing things down has been released. The love that has been quietly and faithfully held for so long can finally breathe freely, can be given, can be fully and beautifully lived. This message comes to you not as a distant or generic warning, but as a direct and tender touch from heaven, saying it is safe now. It is real now. It is time now. The plan has been blessed from above. And what comes next will not be guided by fear or doubt. It will be guided by presence, by action, by love, with a full and responsible heart. And all of it begins the very moment you choose to open your heart to what is already on its way to you. No rushing needed. No pressure on yourself. Simply feel. Allow. Stay softly and faithfully open, because what is coming toward you is going to move everything inside you in ways that are surprising and beautiful and more real than anything you have imagined. Pay close attention to the signs in the coming days. They will not be random noise. They will be answers. They will be quiet and faithful confirmations that what has been shared in this message is not wishful thinking. It is divine guidance being sent to you with love and with care. And if your heart gives you signs, if emotions arrive with more intensity than usual, if memories return with a warmth and a rightness attached to them, if you wake up one morning simply knowing that something has shifted, then hold this knowing close. It is coming, and it is coming with love. Trust not in chance but in purpose. Trust in what your heart felt as these words moved through you. Trust what stirred inside you when you heard about the step this soul is preparing to take. Trust yourself because your intuition has known all along. And now more than ever, it is gently and faithfully preparing you to receive one of the most meaningful and beautiful moments of your life. This is the time. And when it all unfolds, you will look back and remember these words. Because this message was not sent to confuse you or to play with your emotions. It was sent to prepare you, to remind you that true love is always eager to be fully lived. And the soul who loves you is coming with action, with faith, with prayer, and with a heart that has been faithfully holding a deep desire to have you close. Prepare yourself for something that is uniquely and beautifully yours. The time has come. You are never alone, precious soul. The angels are beside you in every moment of every day, sending you strength, sending you peace, wrapping you in a love that is steady and infinite and completely unconditional. They are proud of how far you have come. They are full of joy for what is just ahead of you, and they will be right there with you when that moment arrives. That gaze, that honesty, that quiet and beautiful revolution of the heart. Dear beautiful soul, this angel's message for you channel is a divine space, a sanctuary for the soul. If you're new to this channel, think of this as your spiritual home. It's a sacred space created intentionally for faith to grow, purpose to be sparked, and God-given destinies to be confirmed and lived out. We are busy building a lively community deeply rooted in the rich soil of God's unconditional love, a place where heaven truly speaks into our lives and deep, lasting change regularly happens. We warmly invite you to subscribe and stay connected, because God undoubtedly has so much more to reveal and bring about in your unique life journey. You genuinely don't want to miss what the divine is preparing to do next in and through you. Consider making a generous contribution if you feel moved to support our efforts of spreading divine messages. Whether it's $5, $10, $20, or $50, your contribution enables us to continue sharing these profound messages of healing and hope with the world. Spreading the word is just the beginning of our mission. Hearts are being healed, hope is being renewed, and souls are being guided back to the light. Your support helps us realize our shared goal of making a positive impact. Your generosity, no matter how small, is what keeps our community thriving and bringing people together in love on this sacred journey. We are all interconnected, and we will rise as one. To help us rise, please press the hype button on this video. This new feature allows our community to collectively lift this message up, ensuring it reaches every corner of the world. By uniting, we can conquer this. Let us wholeheartedly embrace the abundance that lies ahead. Amen.